The Arizona Cardinals throttle the Chicago Bears to move to 5-4. Are the AZ Cards playoff bound? We're talking about it. Post-game show starts now. Hello and welcome in. It's a PHNX Cardinals podcast post-game show edition. Your premier Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star. Like this video. I'm Johnny Venerable, the playmaker, former Arizona Cardinal wide receiver Brittan, Golden, Damon, Dawg. Behind the mic, we got Brack live from State Farm Stadium. In just a couple minutes, the Arizona Cardinals absolutely dog walk the Chicago Bears in Glendale, 29-9. We're going to talk about it. This fine post-game show presented by our friends at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Cardinals, this has been an unusual, unordinary season for the Redbirds. They started 2-4. They have won 3 straight for the first time in 3 seasons. They are in firm control and their own destiny here ahead of the postseason picture, and they're flying high after completely smacking around Chicago today, Brittan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about it before the show. We talked about it at halftime. Right? They had a solid game plan offensively. They came out, they executed. The run game was executed to perfection today. They did exactly what they had to do. They didn't have to do too much in the pass game because of the run game today. And the defense played phenomenal. I mean, it was one of the best, defensive pressure games we've seen them play all season long. The defensive backs kept everything in front of them, made the tackles. I mean, I told you we was going to win by double digits today.
You're right. I modestly took the Cardinals to win by 9. They won by 20 and probably could have made it much worse for Chicago. Chicago falling to 4-4 on the year behind fraudulent Matt Eberflus. We're going to talk about all that. The Arizona Cardinals didn't need Kyler Murray to throw more than 20 times today. He was 13 for 20, a modest day for the franchise QB, but it was what the Cardinals did on both lines of scrimmage. This is a Chicago Bears team that prides itself on having good players up front. Yes, they were out their left tackle, and they didn't have Montez Sweat. Cardinals rushed 34 times, 213 yards, 6.3 yards per clip, 3 touchdowns on the day. We're going to talk about that, but let's start. How about our X Factor player of the game? Who else? It's James Conner. Evidently enough, the only member of the Cardinal backfield without a touchdown, but man, he sure got his. 18 for 107, 5.9 yards per clip. Set the tone, swatting off wimpy tacklers. Outside of this defense that we're going to talk about, Brittan, Golden, James Conner providing the X factor for the Cardinals today.
Oh, agreed. I mean, just the bottom stat right there, 5.9 yards per carry. Like, your starting running back is averaging 6 yards a carry. That's all you're going to get every time at the line of scrimmage right there. I mean, he lines up, you're getting a first down in 2 plays.
Yep.
Right, every single time, right? And we talk about it. I'm coaching a little bitty 11-year-old tackle football team with Drew Stanton. Shout out Drew. And that was our message this week was get 4 yards a carry. You get 4 yards a carry, we'll just dominate and win the game. And the Cardinals came out here with a plan, and it was to run the football on a defense that was undermanned, and they ran it to perfection. I mean, 200 plus yards on the ground. And I mean, you're averaging 6 yards a carry from all your backs. You can't be stopped in this league if your offense is moving like that. Right. And they shout out Drew Petzing as well today.
Shout out Drew Petzing. Cardinals, I feel like they kind of took their foot off the gas offensively in the second half. Didn't need to do a whole lot. Hell, we even saw Clayton Tune in the fourth quarter, which good for Clayton Tune, good for this team. But again, at the end of the day, it was this run game that dominated. I want to touch on our Sanderson Ford drive of the game, which was really the last relevant drive for the Cardinals and the Chicago Bears, frankly. It was the end of the first half. Amari DiMercato burst free for 53 yards, shocking Chicago. And you can't convince me at that point the Cardinals hadn't taken the soul the identity of Chicago and ran home with it. Like at that point, if you had spent your hard-earned money, if you're a Midwestern, savant, if you had bought these tickets in the peak of Bears offseason fandom, good for you. How did it feel watching the Cardinals run it down your throat subsequently after the Bears blew it last week with the Hail Mary, and now this week, 53 yards. It was the first time I saw in like a century that a team has given up like an ending half touchdown of that length. So Matt Eberflus continues to be on the wrong side of history. The Cardinals, in the meantime, are very much on the right side, led by this head coach, Jonathan Gannon. We had talked about it ad nauseum throughout the course of this offseason, how much of a gauntlet this schedule was, particularly in the first half. Could you get to the bye? Could you somehow scratch and claw to the bye around 500? Hell, maybe even 4-6. They're sitting here right now. It's not only that they're 5-4, it's how they got there. To have an opportunity to win 3 straight. You just beat a team in Chicago that basically 2 weeks ago was punching their ticket to the postseason. Now you own the tiebreaker over them. You've swept your 2 teams in Seattle in the NFC West right now, in San Fran and the LA Rams. You play them again, and then you host a Jets team who couldn't be a bigger fraud in the NFL a week from today. You have an opportunity to own this division and move into the bye at 6-4. And we're going to talk about it during this show at nauseum the next couple of days ahead of Tuesday. If you're Monti Ossenfort, I've seen enough. This team is worth investing in. This team can absolutely win the NFC West. This team has, the cojones to go out there and perform for this fan base. Today was a big day in the step of the right direction for this fan base in particular, to get people back at State Farm Stadium, not wearing the opposing team's jersey, Brittan Golden, but wearing the red and white once again.
Oh, I agree. And I think, trade deadline's Tuesday, correct?
Yes, sir.
I think if you're Monty in this situation, you got to stir the pot a little bit here.
Yeah.
Right? You got to find a way to get some type of big name pass rusher in here. Somebody, right? Make some type of move, right? Especially what you've seen the last 3 weeks. You've seen a team, against the Chargers, against the Dolphins, fight and claw and scratch and show you that they want to be in this situation. They want an opportunity to get a playoff game, right? This isn't the rebuild part, right? You're above 500. I think you've got to go out there and at least make a play. If you don't get it, understandable, but at least throw your hat in the mix, and give yourself an opportunity. And just, you've got a team right here that can be good. You got an offense that's starting to click together, right? We gave so much flack to Drew Petzing in the past, earlier this season. And the last couple of weeks, he's come out and actually put some really good game plans together. And we've done it in back-to-back weeks now. So, right, maybe it's, something starting to click and go in that direction. So, you would hope you make some type of, move if it works. Like I said, if it works, great. If it doesn't, at least you threw your hat in the ring for an opportunity.
I'd be shocked if the Arizona Cardinals did not make a move. I know there's talk of that in the chat. Johnny, do you think the Cardinals will make a trade? I do. I think 100% they make a move, especially now. This team is in first place after 9 weeks. This team is in charge of their destiny. I don't know if they have the horses to fend off San Francisco to win the NFC West. I'm hopeful, but I know this is a playoff team in the NFC. You can't tell me otherwise. You've got, right now, I know his stats weren't gaudy today. They didn't ask him to do a lot. You got a top 5 quarterback in the NFL in Kyler Murray. You've beaten now Chicago, who's a fringe playoff team. You have an opportunity to play and best the Seattles and the Minnesotas of the world. Of course, like we talked about, you're 2-0 in the NFC West right now. Conservatively, you need 5 more wins to make the postseason. You basically have to match what you've done thus far. And guess who you play in the second half? New England, Carolina, the fraud Seahawks twice. You get the Rams and the Niners, teams you've already beaten. And then, of course, the aforementioned Vikings, who look like they've regressed a little bit since the early start of the season. Unlike the Cliff Kingsbury years, you are trending up. So if you're Monti Ossenfort, whether it's Azeez Ojulari, which according to the Athletics' Diana Rossini you are in on, or Arden Key, be a modest addition out of Tennessee, I'll tell you what I'd like to see. Miami Dolphins losing again today. This is the only move that you need to do. Go get Calais Campbell. Bring Calais Campbell back to Arizona for a 2026 7th-round pick. The Dolphins aren't re-signing him. Bring him to AZ for 8 or 9 games. Give him an opportunity to be a part of this rotation, eventually with Darius Robinson coming back. The guys up front did an admirable job today, and we're going to highlight them. I don't believe this is sustainable with this current group to get you where you want to be throughout the rest of this year. So, I think if you're Monti Ossenfort, how about 2 trades? How about a Calais Campbell, Azeez Ojulari, mid-season boom, plus a Darius Robinson, and now we're cooking with gas a little bit.
I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what Darius Robinson can do in the preseason, right? We haven't seen him at all this year yet, but I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with. And you have an opportunity to pair Calais Campbell. I mean, you can. Calais is 38 right now and is still playing
It's like
as
their best
a
front
top,
seven player.
He's playing as a top interior D lineman in the league right now. So, I mean, that'd be a good pair. And then, like you said, finding an extra edge rusher to go out there. I mean, you could bulk this up without having to spend crazy money or having to spend, get rid of crazy picks in this situation. So, I see there's a way you can do it, right?
Yeah.
And there's options that you can go after. Obviously, it's got to be in the best interest of what you want and what you see fit. He's the GM for a reason, and we do a podcast for a reason. So
that's right.
Johnny, did you just use boom as part of your regular vernacular?
It was a subtle boom. I think booms are appropriate now after we've tailored a part of our show last week in Miami at the Hard Rock when we boomed the Dolphins out of existence and the Cardinals got a key road victory. But again, I think booms are appropriate right now for our booming team at 5-4. The Arizona Cardinals sit atop the NFC West for at least another week. Unfortunately, it looks like Seattle is going to be bested by the Los Angeles Rams. So the Rams are still very viable, even though the Cardinals got that dub against them. It's gonna be a dogfight at the end of the year for the NFC West. Good news for the Cardinal fans. Your team is very much in it, and they should be in it till the end of the season. And it's up to the GM tomorrow and Tuesday to assure that with a couple external moves here. Damon, Dawg, let's get some super chats going, my guy.
Yeah, let's do it. We got 17 already. Jeff, you starting us off with 3 in a row, and he goes 199. Let's keep this thing rolling. Make a move, Monty. Then comes back 199 with the exact same super chat, and then so good he had to say it twice. And then 499 for the third one. Let's acknowledge the value Dante Stills has been as a 7th rounder.
It's been a great addition. It was criminal that he was inactive to begin this year, and I think that can kind of really pivot this conversation, at least momentarily, to the job that this defensive line did, led by Nick Rallis, who for back-to-back home games has not allowed a touchdown. Dating back to the Charger game, Nick Rallis' defense of journeyman free agents and some nice young defensive secondary pieces has shut down Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams.
Well, they did exactly what we said they had to do, in the pregame show. Talking about if you can find a way to generate some type of pass rush today, you can make Caleb Williams uncomfortable and force bad throws, force him out of the pocket, and things like that. And you did that, right? You had multiple sacks today. You had multiple pressures today. He completed a few, right? When he scrambled, he completed a few passes. One was a busted coverage. But, at this point, right, you did everything you were supposed to do defensively today. You didn't give up a touchdown. You forced them to kick field goals, and they were all in the first half. You put a big blank 0 in the second half. All right, so, I mean, you can tell that these guys are rallying. They're buying in. They've bought into their coaches defensively, offensively. They want to make plays for them. They want to do the things right. They want to win games for these guys. So, I mean, adding a couple guys that could actually help bulk your defense up, I think just makes you a better football team with a better opportunity to win this NFC West. Like you said, there's going to be so many opportunities. Yeah. You've already won once on 2 of them. You got Seattle twice in the next 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is.
Yep.
I mean, you have an opportunity to come out here and just completely take a commanding lead in the NFC West.
Everybody be sure to like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. We got a ton of people watching right now. We thank all of you. We got Bo Brack live from State Farm Stadium around the corner. Plus, we're going to hear from JG, Kyler Murray, and more. That's around the corner here on PHNX Cardinals. But first, it's around the corner. How about around the block? It's our friends at Circle K, America's thirst stop. Join the Inner Circle for free, easy to download, the membership program that you need in your life. Enter your email, phone number to be fully enrolled. After that, all you need is your phone number to get the deals on deals. How about this deal? I got this week. Save 3 cents per gallon every single day, but that's after you burn your first 5 fill-ups. Those are 25 cents off per gallon. Plenty of other exclusive member deals and discounts like the 79-cent Polar Pop or Froster. Boom, baby. Give it to me. Even with the weather cooling off a little bit here in AZ, love me a 79-cent Froster. But you got to join the Inner Circle with our friends at Circle K by downloading the app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details. Hey, how about this? Visit CircleK.com/store-locator to find the Circle K nearest to you. And I'll tell you what I near me every day is a branded Bill's lid. I tell this story all the time. My young son, every time I drop him off at his school in Gilbert, Arizona, there are branded bill caps on display. It's because it's premium headgear at not a premium price. It's the future of headwear and apparel. We couldn't be more excited to be partnered up with our friends at Branded Bills. So much so, we're going to hook you up 20% off with the bonus code PHNX. Again, big weekend for our ASU Sun Devils. Rock a Branded Bills ASU branded hat. We've got them here. They're fantastic. U of A, they've got the campus collection. Best part is, it's not outsourced out of state, baby. It's locally located here in Mesa, Arizona. Branded Bills, they've got truckers, snapbacks, fitteds, beanies, or tees. Whatever you got, whatever you want, they've got it for you. Head to brandedbills.com. And again, the bonus code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. So fired up. Circle K, Branded Bills, getting it done, saving money for PHNX Sports, PHNX Cardinals. We're fired up about the partnerships. I'm fired up about this game. It's funny sitting here. We were talking about it. A very stress-free second half. I looked at you and Damon, and I'm like, it's weird that they're good again. Like, it's taken 3 years. It's taken a lot of sludge, a lot of patience from Cardinal fans. But, like, have we exited the term rebuild? Or is that term dead now? Can we put it to bed?
Well, I think with the play we've seen, even all season long, right? There's been some down games. There's been some inconsistencies in the offense and defense as well. But I think to where we're at now, especially with 3 wins in a row, back to back to back. I mean, the rebuild, mindset's done, right? This is a team that is starting to believe that, hey, we are a wild card team. We can be a wild card team if we do everything right, if we don't beat ourselves. So I believe, at this point, you just got to keep moving. The rebuild part's out the window. Like, losing now is because you beat yourself.
Yep.
You've shown what you can do offensively. Running the ball, you've been great all season long running the football, right? Even in losses, you've run the football decently.
Yep.
Right? The pass game is going to have to come along, but we saw what it can be last week, right? When you get your playmakers involved with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison, both over 100 last week. When stuff like that happens, right, everything's kind of opening up. So at this point, it's just being consistent, right? Consistency offensively, consistency defensively, putting the game plans together, both of them, and having a good game plan and making adjustments as you go. I think this is a team that can be great this season. You can be a wild card if you do all the right things.
I agree. I think the postseason should be the expectation now. I don't want to hear about missing pieces. I don't want to hear about, they overachieved. Let's applaud that. No, I don't think you can take playoff bursts for granted here in Arizona. Not with Kyler Murray playing this well. We don't know what's the future of James Conner and Budda Baker, both from a physicality standpoint. They're older players, and a contractual standpoint. They're both impending free agents. Like, selling a couple pieces off, draft picks, over the next 48 hours is not going to derail the momentum of this team. They've done a tremendous job. Give Monti Ossenfort his flowers, and I've been critical of his free agent additions, but Max Melton, blossoming. Marvin Harrison Jr. had that fumble. I thought he was solid today. Trey McBride, Paris Johnson Jr., Yelda Froholt. There's so much good around this team. It's not going to be derailed because you ship off a couple day 3 picks. I think you risk potentially losing the locker room if you're Monti Ossenfort saying, you know what, this team's not worth investing in. I don't expect him to do that. I think he's too flippin' smart, and I think he's going to go out and make a couple moves because I think this team has proven to everybody they're tough as nails. They can run the football, and the scheme, I think you can't question the scheme of this defense with Nick Rallis. It just needs better personnel. Like, how many times, even with the 5 sacks they had today, were they in the position to have more sacks? They probably should have had like 7 or 8 sacks today. That tells you the infrastructure of this team finally has the goods. We knew about the quarterback. I've always been a firm believer. This podcast and Kyler Murray, check. Head coach, slam dunk. GM, slam dunk. You're in a position now. Start stacking postseason bursts. Get this team experience that they can build off of. How vital would it be, Brittan Golden, to have a postseason berth this year and, God forbid, win a division, win a playoff game, and the kind of momentum that would give to a team that, oh, by the way, has $118 million in cap space this offseason?
Well, I think it starts to look attractive to big-name free agents, right? I think the last couple of years, this just has not been an attractive landing spot for big-time free agents. You don't have a good program going on right now. You're not winning games. Your facilities, we'll talk about that on a different
They're
day.
going to work on it.
We're working on it. I hope so.
Yeah.
But it's not an attractive landing spot. But now, right, for at least the last 3 weeks that we've seen, right, you're winning games.
Yep.
You're moving the ball offensively. You're getting off the field defensively. it's going to start. If you can continue this and find a way to get into the playoffs this season, whether it's a wild card or not, if you can, whether you win the NFC West or not, find a way to get a wild card berth. Now it starts looking attractive. You got big name free agents on defense that are saying, hey, right, they got something going out there in Arizona right now. Maybe this is a landing spot. Plus, it's Phoenix, right? I mean, the weather's nice right now. Nobody's complaining about it.
It's only
right
bad
now.
when the Bears are on offense. We make it rain here. That's right. Like this video. Again, the goal for this post game, it's 1,000 likes on a post game dub here.
That's it?
I think 1,000 is pretty appropriate. Maybe on a postseason,
it's a good start.
Postseason stream, we might ask for 2K.
Postseason, you got to give me more than 2.
The little fanboy pod that could be talking playoffs sooner rather than later. I want to talk a little counting cards with my friends of the program here, Damon, Dawg, and Brittan Golden. Let's check it out. We know James Conner was our X factor, but how about some other standouts? Xavier Thomas, not 1, but 1.5, could have been 2. The day 3 pick out of the ACC, Clemson, getting home. It wasn't just Brittan Golden that he was getting sacks. He was doing it against Darnell Wright, the first-round tackle for the Chicago Bears last year, whooping him around the edge. So much so, Damon and I were joking around. Darnell Wright was questionable to return because he was sucking wind, as Xavier Thomas making his presence known there on the Cardinals dub.
Oh, for sure. He looked quick off the ball today. He was, his hands were active. He was in the backfield a lot. Should have had a couple sacks. I mean, I guess 1.5 is he got in there with Collier on the first round. I think it was, right? It was a good one, but that's what you wanted to see, especially from a late round guy, right? You got him on a day 3, you got him to come in, and you're getting production out of a guy like that. And I feel like we've seen that even last year. We've seen that out of guys that Monty's brought in these last couple of years in his tenure here. He's gotten late round guys, he's gotten rookies, he's gotten young guys to come in and step up to the plate and make plays early. And it's what you want to see. I think it's the perfect time for him to start, coming alive, right? We're getting midway through the season. It's about time. You got to start making plays at this point and really just keep it up. If you can average and find a way for Xavier Thomas to be in the backfield and find a way to get a half a sack or a sack a game, you're already making moves.
Absolutely. The Cardinals, Darius Robinson, Xavier Thomas, and maybe another addition. We're going to talk about that. Let's keep the party going here on Counting Cards. The run game was dominant. DeMercado, we had to include Amari DeMercado. I know he fumbled the football, but he ended Tremaine Edmonds in the open field with a tremendous open field cut to keep a drive alive. But I really do think the game was over. When the Chicago Bears are trying to play off soft coverage to prevent the Cardinals from getting in field goal range, and they allowed DeMercado, RB3 for the Cardinals, number 31, to scamper on a draw play for 53 yards with 4 seconds left in the half. I mean, that to me, if anybody was still making a case for Eberflus to be the head coach of the Bears, it died with that play.
It was. I mean, honestly, we talked about it at halftime. I fully thought, when I saw that handoff, I said, okay, all we're doing here is just trying to pad a little bit of stats, get to halftime with the lead, and get ready for the second half. And then you see him make one cut, get to the outside, and he's going 50-plus yards for a touchdown. Right there took everything out of the Bears at that point. I think they were just ready to find a way to get back on that airplane and get back to
they're like, we've had enough. Chicago. We've seen enough. And listen, the Bears, I don't want to spend too much time on the Bears because they're irrelevant right now. They have to go through the gauntlet of the NFC North. I think there's a chance they go at best like 2-4 in the division. I think at worst they get swept. And for Caleb Williams' development, that's probably best case scenario. And then last but not least, we needed it. You needed it. We all knew it was coming. Sweet baby Trey McBride, the McBridesmaids here. Anytime touchdown, unconventional for Trey when he's not hurdling defenders. Gosh. I like the end around creativity. I thought both Drew Petsy and Nick Rouse were in their bags. Petsy was fantastic in the red zone. Trey McBride just stiff-arming his way for 6. I thought that really kind of set the tone, too, because the Cardinals went 3 and out, and the Bears came out and had a long drive, ended up not getting points, get knocked out of field goal range with a sack, and the Cardinals came right back and said, you know what, we're done screwing around. We're going to run the football. We're going to get James Conner, get us down to about the 1, and then we're going to try this jet sweep with 85. I mean, good luck tackling. Having to tackle Trey McBride and James Conner has to be a nightmare for defensive players.
God, Trey McBride might be one of the most athletic humans I have ever seen.
Yes.
To be that big and to be just hurdling people week in and week out.
Yeah.
It's becoming a thing every week now with a hurdle. Yeah, I mean, like you said, between Trey McBride and tackling Trey McBride and tackling James Conner, That's a whole different game in itself. You got to come mentally prepared for that, because if you're not ready and you're not wrapping up right, there's no possible way you're making that tackle.
No, no doubt. Everybody be sure to like this stream here. We got a really cute surprise here coming up that I know is going to make Cardinal fans really happy from a special contributor to the AZ market, Mr. AZ, with just tremendous video of Bear fans leaving the stadium. We're going to get to that here in a little bit, but we're going to get to Bo Brack. We've got Jonathan Gannon. We've got Kyler Murray. We've got so much going on right now. But here's what I need from everybody here. Go to GoPHNX.com. Become a diehard. GoPHNX.com. There's been no better time to join our community for half off right now. This is a postseason team, in my opinion, with the Arizona Cardinals, and you're going to get the premium coverage not only on this show, but from our guy, our PHNX Cardinals beat reporter, Craig Morgan. Pick up a pass right now for $48, basically half off. You're going to get a free t-shirt, whatever t-shirt you want. Hopefully it's PHNX Cardinals. Get it now. Exclusive access to the PHNX Sports, PHNX Cardinals member Discord. And then we're going to talk about it. How about this? 20% off the merchandise locker moving forward. Special access to events. If you don't live in the area, it's still worth it. Rep PHNX Sports. You can't shop for a number 18 jersey, but you can shop the number 18 collection, and then you're set for the rest of the year. $48, you get a free one of these. The best shirt we've ever done, front center there, the MHJT. How about a Maserati Marv T, 1 + 18 = 6? So fired up about all of our new diehards that we welcomed the last couple of weeks during this sale, and it's going through Tuesday, just like the trade deadline, baby. Become a diehard right now. GoPHNX.com. I told you I'd give you the floor. It's part of your show here, and you were going to dog on Caleb Williams. And while this is a Cardinal-centric show, I do think it's worth repeating. Caleb Williams was bad today. The Cardinals made him look bad. And then you watch Jaden Daniels every week look like one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL. Tough for Chicago Bear fans.
It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough for some people in this chat right now, too, because there was some times we was listening at the end of last year. We was listening during Combine and all this nonsense talking about we got to trade Kyler. We need Caleb Williams. He's going to be the savior. He can come in here. Look, not the dog on the man, but it did not end up how 99% of these people thought that Caleb Williams was going to come in here and just dominate. They were comparing the man to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Let's not do that. That's aggressive. Last week, he went into the fourth quarter with 30 total yards passing.
Yeah.
All right. He had a big pass play today off of a busted coverage.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, I mean, like you said, I've been waiting for this for a long time just off the season. But it's, maybe he turns it around. Hopefully he does. I don't wish ill will on the man. It's more of nothing against him as it is to listen to all that nonsense we had to hear at the end of last season, the beginning of this season, how they missed, you dropped the ball and not finding a way to get Caleb. No, right? You have a quarterback right now who is top 5, top 7 in the league when he's playing well. You can say he doesn't have the stats today. He didn't need the stats.
Yeah.
We didn't need Kyler Murray to throw the ball 30 times today. We had 210-plus rushing yards.
Yep.
I don't need him to throw the ball at all. I mean, Jared Goff had a game the other day. I don't even think he threw for 100 yards.
Yeah.
And they beat somebody so many. This is what you want to see offensively, right? You got a quarterback that can make good decisions right now. You got a quarterback that, like last week, when you put him in a situation you need the ball thrown, he comes out there and he throws for almost 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Or he might have thrown for 300 yards. I don't remember what the stat was. This is one of those things, right? We had to listen to Bears fans at the Combine talk about, we got our guy. Well, your guy has now brought you to 500 only because
your schedule.
You've been playing terrible teams.
It's crazy. The Bears fans were like, yeah, we beat the Jags and we're going to, destroy the Cardinals, and this game was never competitive. And again, major shout out to all the Bear fans that made the trudge across the Midwest. We welcome you with open arms here in Phoenix. And we also welcome this. This is from our friend of the program, Mr. AZ. Is a great follow on social media. Mr. AZ Sports. Loser Bear fans leaving the stadium in droves at the beginning of the third quarter. Just a massive exodus. Let's see that one more time, Damon, Dawg. Look at them. They're on the escalator, leaving with their heads hung below with a big-time L. They're holding that L, and they're holding last place in the NFC North after today. Just a beautiful thing. And again, people want to say, well, Cardinal fans, don't sell your tickets. this is a step in the right direction, but that's not what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the fact that downtown at the Westgate today, poppin' scene, a bunch of blue and orange that the eye could see. And then for them not even to get through a 4-quarter game before you bail. I mean, those tickets were a premium today. You flew across country. You got on flights to come do that. Awesome. Congratulations. Don't come back.
Have a safe flight.
Cardinal fans, this is your stadium. You've taken it back. Let's keep it going. Don't sell your tickets to Jet fans, all 6 of them. Don't do it. All right, we got more stuff. We got Super Chats. We got JG. We got Bo Brock right around the corner here on PHNX Cardinals. And Bears fans might be big-time losers today. You know who's not a loser? Our friends at Sanderson Ford. The Glendale location, baby. Their 65-acre facility makes it not the smallest. How about this? The largest Ford dealership in the nation. PHNX is proud to have Sanderson Ford as our official vehicle partner. Like, I'm so fired up right now. I want to go drive a big truck. And we asked it on the pregame show, like, what kind of truck am I? You said now Ford Bronco.
See, if you was driving a truck, you might have a. We'll give you an F-150. You can drive an F-150.
What about that right there? I'm like James Conner out there. James Conner is the equivalent of a Ford F-150 running over the Bears' defensive line. Check it out right now. Enter Sanderson Ford. Their F-150 trucks with, this is perfect for your boy, 3.9% financing for 60 months. I'm ready to sign up for that right now. Hell yeah. Plus $4,000 cash back. Pick up a free pair of tickets to see Weezer and Sublime. Now you're speaking my language. At November nights with a supply of just 100 tickets while they last. No purchase, test drive necessary. Again, offer on a 2024 F-150 STX OAC from Ford Credit. 1 pair of tickets per household. Requires a driver's license. Check them out. Love our friends at Sanderson Ford. Love our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Specifically our friends at Wild Horse Pass, the site of PHNX Cardinals, PHNX Suns watch party. I can't flip and wait till our next Cardinal watch party. Vibes will be immaculate. It'll be the first time we've done a watch party there where the Cardinals are firmly in control of their playoff destiny. They're big winners. How about you? They got 4,500 slots, live table games. Catch all the action at the largest sportsbook casino in the greater Arizona area. We've been to 5 stars in Las Vegas, 5-star casinos. This is on par, if not better. Hope you dabbled on the Cards money line today, by the way. We're going to be hosting events. Cards, big-time winners. Suns, they're off to a phenomenal start. Check out the watch parties. They are quick, fast, and in a hurry becoming one of the premier outing events here in the Phoenix area. And then we've got the Ferrari Fortunes every Friday, 7 p.m. Winners are drawn for cash prizes, free bonus plays. That's at the Wild Horse Pass location. I hope you were in the running for a Ferrari 488 GTB. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Damon, Dawg, producer extraordinaire. Let's keep the party going. Let's get to some super chats, my guy.
Let's do it, man. We got 25 now. Chat's going strong. Patrick T, $10, says, the rookies are better than Sean Murphy Bunting. I think we ride these young corners till it gets bad. In summary, our coaching is phenomenal. We still need to invest in D-line, but faith is strong with this coaching staff from defense to offense and special teams.
Oh, I agree. Your young corners are playing really well right now. The main thing is they're playing smart ball. They're keeping everything in front of them. So even if you get a nice little 3 or 4 yard completion, they're running up and they're making the tackle and they're not allowing anything past that. So I agree. I mean, just let them rock, let them play, right? They're learning as they go and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, this defensive secondary, you knew it was always going to be well coached because of who their head coach is. And Sean Murphy Bunting was going to go, then he had a neck, so he couldn't go. More reps for Max Melton, get him better each and every week. Starlene Thomas, Garrett Williams. And look what those guys can do with a pass rush. I mean, most of the time they're having to do that when the quarterbacks have like 5 to 7 seconds to throw in the pocket. Not today. Today they were able to feast on some balls. And I think they really set the tone at the end of the first half. Chicago was down, I think, what was that, like 6 points or something? And they got down inside the red zone. They had 1st and goal inside the 10. They threw 3 consecutive passes in single coverage. Starlene Thomas and Max Melton stood up and deflected multiple passes, and the Bears really were never able to recover. We're never close again to scoring a touchdown.
No, even when they were scrambling, even when Caleb scrambled and, tried to extend the play, guys were plastered. There was nowhere for him to throw the football, and that's what you need out of your corners. Just make sure there's nowhere to go and make him force an errant throw.
Seattle, LA going to OT. We're rooting for the Seattle Seahawks so we can proclaim the Rams dead and buried here. We're also going to chat with our guy, Bo Brock. Damon, Dawg, Well, more super chats. What do you think? We got some post game presser highlights we want to talk about?
Not quite, but we do have some super chats to get through. So we'll go with you. What 499 defense looked great today. Pass rush overachieved again, but more importantly, Garrett Williams looked elite, and Melton was great too.
Agreed.
Max Melton, like people dogging his PFF grade, just watch the game with your eyes. I mean, these guys are going up against big time receivers: Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze can play a little bit. Hey, you know who didn't catch a pass? You know who's completely invisible? The Bears tight end. I mean, the secondary did a tremendous job. I mean, look at Caleb Williams' numbers today. And I like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. 22 of 41, 217 yards, 5.3 yards per clip, was sacked 6 times, 68.9 QB rating, got hurt at the end of the game. The Cardinals defense, you can't say enough good things about it.
No, I mean, and we've said it multiple times this year, right? They've overachieved.
Yeah.
Right? With what we thought, what we've seen, what we thought was going to happen coming in, and they come out and they just wow you. And they've done it multiple times this season. And, they're going to have to continue to do that for the rest of the season, right? Even if you get a big name guy in here, they're still going to have to overachieve in some situations. And right now, right, you're getting great play out of all your guys, young guys and veterans combined.
Yep. Damon, let's keep these going, my guy.
Yeah, let's do it. Joshua, 249 euros, says, hope Monty doesn't see this as a reason for no trade.
I don't think so. I think they understand. Listen, we can talk about the defense, and I don't want to diminish their efforts today. They were fantastic, but the Bears were missing. At one point, they were missing 3 tackles. They came into this game. They were out their left tackle and their backup left tackle, and then at one point they had to go to their backup right tackle, and I think they were missing a guard at one point. Their offensive line struggled, and this is already a quarterback in Caleb Williams that takes a lot of bad sacks. I think you can look at the last couple weeks for the Cardinals. That's more indicative of who they are. Now, do I think it's improving? I do, to some degree. Their defensive tackle play is solid. I was really encouraged by the defense yet again that did a nice job, but the Cardinals are not in any kind of situation or scenario to turn away pass rush help. Now, I get it. There are every team right now in contention. Atlanta, the Detroit Lions, they want pass rushers. So the Cardinals are going to have to get dirty in there. They're going to have to go to a place to be uncomfortable, but they should, because they put themselves in a position. No one's going to poo-poo Monti Ossenfort for giving up a 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick to help this team. Everybody is invested in now. So many teams would kill to be in this position. You draft players to get you in this position. You're here now. Take advantage of the moment. We're taking advantage of the moment with our guy Bo Brock live at State Farm Stadium. Arizona Cardinals trounce the Chicago Bears 29-9. Bo, you got a front row seat to this butt kicking for AZ. Immediate reaction as the Cardinals are over 500 for the first time in the JG era.
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. I mean, they've won 3 straight. They just can't stop winning all of a sudden, and now they actually win a game handily, and they don't even need to rely on their franchise quarterback, Kyler Murray. And K1 didn't seem to mind it. I mean, he was frustrated that he left some plays out there, but he was pretty excited about how they ran the football and how well they played on defense. Back-to-back games that this defense hasn't allowed a touchdown in a home turf. Pretty impressive dub over the Bears. I mean, as good as the Cardinals look today, Johnny, the Bears look equally bad. But look, you'll take it after having to squeak out 3 of your last 4 victories against some tough teams. So you'll take a big win and kind of go into the trade deadline with the idea of adding to this team. Even though, I was tabbed with telling you that, hey, they had 6 sacks. They're fine on the defensive front. But I couldn't even go through with it, Johnny. I couldn't even go through it. I couldn't even bait you into it. But look, that's where they are. And it was a great performance in all 3 phases.
What was Gannon's demeanor in the post-game presser? Best seen his mentor of sorts and fraud, Matt Eberflus, who somebody told me yesterday, Matt Eberflus might be on the Cardinals staff next year. I wouldn't hate that. Make him a senior defensive advisor because he's getting fired, right? Jonathan Gannon basically, I thought, took it easy on Flus in the second half. The Cardinals dominated this game. What was JG's mantra after this one?
Business as usual. He's very subdued in the post game. He saves it for his players. He saves it for the guys that are going to make the impact out there, and comes in and he basically is just business when he's talking to us, kind of going through the X's and O's, the ebbs and flows as far as the game goes, how his team kind of found a way to get off the field on 3rd down, how they were able to execute that third down run with Amari Dermercado that they broke for 53 yards to change the game before the end of the first half. Shoot, man, I mean, I think that there's a chance Flus could be on this staff by the end of the year, the way that things are trending for the Bears. I mean, it's possible. Could he go the way of Robert Saleh and come on and just resurface here in the desert? He would be with open arms. But, man, it was probably their most impressive dub of the season. And, like, I don't want to overlook how well they played on special teams. I mean, from Chad Ryland banging home a 55-yarder, he's now 10 of 11 on field goals as the Arizona Cardinals kicker, and Blake Gillikin and Joey Blount making plays in the punt and then punt coverage game. I mean, it set them up to really just put Caleb Williams in this Bears offense just way behind the entire time.
Like, do you think this game, Brittan Golden, is more impressive than the Rams win earlier this year?
I think it's a bigger statement made, right? Because you came in. This is a game that on paper we talked about earlier. This is a game on paper you expected the Cardinals, especially after last week's win, to come in here and to win this game, right? What you wanted to see as a Cardinal fan is the Cardinals to come in here and dominate the game, which they did today.
Yeah.
They came in offensively, defensively, special teams wise, and they just completely dominated all three phases of this game, right? Outside of about the first 8-9 minutes of the first quarter, when it was just kind of close here and there. Even when they kicked the 2 field goals, the Cardinals were never not in control of this football game. So I think as a fan, this is exactly what you wanted to see moving forward. It was good to see the win against the Rams and how they did it, just because of, the week 1 loss and going off of that. You wanted to see some type of win. But I think this made a bigger statement also, putting you in control, right? Now you're above 500. You have, even worst case scenario happens next week, you go into your bye week at 500, right? Which is exactly what you wanted to do. So I think, with an opportunity to come in here and beat a Jets team that just hasn't looked good consistently all season long, you get a W there and you go into the bye 6-4. I mean, this is a big win. It was a big win for JG and company and for this team as a whole, right? And just the fact that you've gone 3 in a row, right? You're making a statement. Now people are starting to pay attention. People are starting to look and say, hey, there's actually a problem out there in the NFC West. And it's not a 49ers or a Rams, right? Or a Seahawks team, right? It's the Cardinals are relevant again for the first time since really 2021.
Yeah, Bo, like, what do you think this does for the mantra of Cardinal fans coming to the games and not selling their tickets? I know Chicago's a unique circumstance, but, we tweeted out and we brought it up on the show, the Mr. AZ Sports video of Bear fans leaving in droves in the third quarter. You just want to chef's kiss it. Like, now, how do we move forward? Is it just as simple as winning for this team?
Yeah, I think winning, and also winning in a kind of a fun fashion, right? I mean, for it to be, hey, this is going to last a little bit longer than it has, in the last half decade, where it's like, hey, they might be a flash in the pan. They might be able to string together, double-digit wins and sneak into the playoffs. Like this, you've got building blocks here. You got your franchise quarterback, which, even when they had him, even with, Brittan's teams, with Carson Palmer, you knew that there was a shelf life there. You knew there was a shelf life with Kurt Warner. Kyler Murray's 27 years old, and he's just finding his way in Drew Petzing's offense. He just played his 17th game under Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing today. And, like, they didn't even really need Kyler. But so to see, like, how they're playing on the offensive line, who's stepping up on the defensive side of football, who's emerging there, and you're seeing these guys, these building blocks emerge, and it's like, hey, I want to go out there and watch these guys play football. So, yeah, I think that there is a little bit of a difference between that, and it was nice to do it in front of a team like a team that has a ton of transplants in the Valley that gobbled up these tickets. And maybe next time it comes around, it's more evened out. I mean, it's never going to change to where, like, Bears fans aren't going to travel and Lions fans aren't going to travel. But I think Cardinals fans can do a good job in boxing them out by purchasing season tickets, where I think you'll probably see those on the rise, too, from here on forward.
Absolutely. It would help if you had more outcomes like this. Speaking of outcomes, let's check it out. Desert Financial by the numbers today with the Arizona Cardinals throttling the Chicago Bears. Winning in dramatic fashion. The only thing the Bears won, they dominated kind of in turnovers 0-2, but the card didn't matter. And that's, I think, more of a, indicative of how poorly the Bears played and they're coached. They had an edge in passing yards because they had to. Biggest number on the day, rushing yards, 213 to just 69. Chicago Bears, who thought they were going to be able to come in here and push the Cardinals around, Felt like they were robbed last week against Washington. No, maybe they're just not very good. And then how about at the bottom, 6 sacks to just 3. Arizona Cardinals have their best pass rushing day of the year. And I say that as I go back to Brack at State Farm Stadium. Cardinals get 6 sacks today. And it was against an offensive line, let's just call it, that was compromised for Chicago. This is a lock that Ossenfort's trading for a player now, right? It's just the question of what player and maybe how many players. Because we're not going to be sitting here in 48 hours talking about a no-show deadline for the Cards GM, right?
No, I would be shocked at this point. I've heard some rumblings around, the press box. They've been busy. They've been at work. They've been on the phone trying to figure out, some deals. So there's also what, has been reported from Diana Russini and The Athletic over there, and multiple reports just saying that the Cardinals are checking her out. I mean, whether it's Azeez Ojulari or whether it's Arden Key or whoever it may be, it sounds like the Arizona Cardinals should try to come out. As JJ Watt tweets at me right now, I don't know what's going on. The Arizona Cardinals need to figure out who's going to be the best fit for them, and who can they help them now in the interim and in the future.
We'll allow Brack to check his tweet from JJ Watt,
good.
And then we're gonna get to some post-game pressers here from JG, K1, James, Connor, and more right around the corner. Drop a like here on PHNX Cardinals. We're getting fired up with the Cardinals postseason play. I'm fired up about our newest partner, Blue Chew. It's all about having fun, doing it in a safe way. Blue Chew, first impressions are important, but what about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes into play. Blue Chew helps boost your confidence in the bedroom. How about that? You can stay hard and perform at your very best. And again, right now, does Blue Chew work? Of course it does. You're asking that question. You want to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is. They're going to hook you up. How about a free month for the first month? It's an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, ever heard of them, Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. How about that? The process is simple, friends. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. You'll be ready to perform just like the Cardinals today. They're made in USA. They're prepared to ship directly to your door. And how about this? We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free using the bonus code ALLCITY at checkout. Pay just $5 shipping. How about that? Ready to rock and roll. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ALLCITY. Receive your first month free. And again, right now, check out their details and important safety information. Make sure it's right for you. And we thank Blue Chew for helping us sponsor this fine podcast, PHNX Cardinals. And speaking of PHNX Cardinals, here at PHNX Sports, we've only got one financial credit union hooking us up. Proud partners at Desert Financial Credit Union, the official credit union of PHNX Sports, the Venerable household, and the Arizona Cardinals. Desert Financial, they've got a team of financial experts who are committed to their members, offering financial solutions tailored to helping real-life people like me, like you, like Brittan, like Bo, like Damon, everybody here. I've got them in my personal life, my professional life. I'm never looking back. I'm never going back to my Podunk Credit Union back in the Midwest. I have leveled up my financial acumen. You can too. Checking, savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Plus, rep the Red Sea with the Arizona Cardinal Visa Debit Card. Again, if you're a member of the Red Sea, how about this? The Desert Financial Bird Gang Getaway Sweepstakes. You can win a prize pack that includes not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 tickets to a Cardinals away game on December 29th, plus round-trip ticket, airfare, hotel accommodations for more than 4 people, 4 two-day theme park passes, $2,000 Visa gift card. Enter today, desertfinancial.com/getaway. We're here at PHNX Cardinals post-game show. Let's hear from the head coach, Jonathan Gannon. He spoke just a couple minutes ago following the team's big win against Chicago.
Yeah, I think, when you see all 3 phases executing at a high level, every game is going to be played different. But the confidence of executing at a high level and making a bunch of plays within the team, that does carry over. And I think that's what we're starting to get to that point where, they know they've always known this, but they're doing it they're playing, they're making plays, they're connected, they're doing what they're coached to do. We do some smart things that, people, a lot of people don't even realize what's going on. Not to say like you guys don't know what's going on, but I'm saying like, protecting the football, off an explosive play, like Higgy Bear comes to my mind. The boot that he catches, he reverses field. Here comes JJ going to try to strip him. He covers up because he knows guys behind him. Like that stuff like wins. Like, so that's why I always tell him, like if we keep just winning behavior, man, on a day-to-day basis, you'll give yourself a chance to win the game, and we're doing it. That's what's allowing us to win games is we take one day at a time, every second counts, maximize the day, keep blinders on, and go about your business. Display winning behavior on a consistent day-to-day basis, and you'll give yourself a chance to win the game. So I think probably why that's happening is the leadership in the locker room, from the captains to, we got a bunch of leaders on that team, you know what I mean? And they don't allow no bullshit. So not that we have a lot, but every once in a while I'll get out of alignment too. You know what I mean? You got to bring back everybody in, and they're doing a really good job of staying connected and being accountable and doing the right things.
They don't allow no BS. That's from Jonathan Gannon just a couple minutes ago, Bo Brock. And you think about this team, and I talked with BG and Damon before you jumped on. Like the rebuild word has kind of been a nasty word to this podcast, but we've embraced it. But then you also have to think about kind of the no BS players on this team, James Conner and Budda Baker being two prime examples. I do think that there is a little bit of, weighted expectation for this team to perform well so that these players can achieve success with this franchise that maybe they haven't had before. There's a responsibility from the front office, the coaching staff, to do it for these veterans that may not be around next year. Is that fair to say?
I mean, it's fair to say. I mean, it happens each and every year in all 32 locker rooms. There's guys that are deserving to go out and play out better than it usually does. This league is so damn hard to be able to rebuild and on the fly win football games at the same time. I think it takes a special group of guys, and that's what they have. And it starts, as he mentioned, with the leaders in that locker room. Like the coach is going to say one thing, and they're going to say the right thing usually every time, but is it going to resonate? And I think they're getting it echoed by the leaders on this team, the James Connors, the Elder Froholtz, the Paris Johnson Jr.'s, the Kyler Murrays, the guys in the locker room reinforcing that messaging so that it doesn't fall short, and that after coming off, a big win in San Francisco, that they don't have a letdown the next week, or a win off like they did in Miami. They don't have a letdown, this upcoming week. They came out ready to play, and I think it's a testament top to bottom to this organization that, it's nice to say, it's a nice little story to write out, but to make it actually happen in the NFL, it's easier said than done. So, it's nice to be able to kind of, like, I'm not going to ditch the rebuilding. I think they're just ahead of schedule as far as their rebuild. They're 5-4, and they got some young players that are still, finding their way. I mean, it's unbelievable what they've been able to accomplish, especially with the gauntlet schedule that they had out of the gate.
Brittan, what do you think is the most impressive part of the season thus far, 9 games in?
Honestly, I think you got to look back at how well the defense has actually played. How we've talked about it from before the season started, during the season, how mildly undermanned we have been, putting it nicely. Like,
yeah,
they've overachieved, and they've done it in pretty much every game we played in. I think outside of maybe one game where we just didn't, the Washington game where we just got kind of abused it to a point. But outside of that, the defense has actually played a lot better than we expected them to play. And they've done it for the most part for the whole season, right? You're missing some key pieces. You're missing some big superstar status type defensive players that can change a game. But for the most part, they've stepped up to the plate, and they've given your offense opportunities to win some of these games, the close games that we didn't win, right? And we just didn't come through offensively. So I think through this first half of the season, I think, honestly, you've got to hand it off and give it to this defense for coming out, and especially with all the young guys that they have on this defense that are playing and that are making an impact. I think the defense has been the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Damon, Dawg, we got more presser clips coming up here.
Yeah, we got James Conner on Amari DeMercado, and what's next up for the Cards.
That was just a huge swing for us, for him to rip off a 50-plus yard run right before halftime. He's so smooth and fluid with it. That's one of his plays right there. He just put his foot down, and it was like he just uses his speed and He's a great player. So, yeah, that really helped us carry a lot of momentum in the halftime and just put a stake on what we want to be in the run game. More work ahead. You know, we're going to put all of our focus into New York this week and try to do it again.
Go ahead, Bo. We cut you off.
No, I mean, it's fine. It's perfect. James Conner set me up perfectly because as they focus on New York, they do it as the standalone team atop the NFC West standings. After the final, the Rams take out the Seahawks. The Rams, even at 500, the Arizona Cardinals are at 5-4 atop the NFC West officially.
Do you feel like, Bo, you know, certainly the Niners and the Rams aren't going away, whereas like we assumed all along, there was no bigger fraud in the NFL when weren't the Seahawks like 4-0 or like 3-0, and then they've since been like 1-5. There's huge frauds. Big apologies to our guy Shane Diefenbach, but goodbye
Done.
Seattle. Can't wait to play in the
I
second
want to
half.
apologize.
Yeah, we don't apologize to him. Like the Cardinals, like the expectation now should be, whether it's the division or a wild card berth, like the expectation should be like this team needs to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that even with them being ahead of schedule and as well as they've gotten play from, you know, survive the slump offensively and being undermanned defensively and working their way, you know, in 3 out of 4 games back in the fourth quarter to come from behind to win football games, you know, that coupled with how this division's eroded a little bit, you know, I think that this opportunity has presented itself more so than anybody could have ever imagined. Like when you look at the Cardinal schedule that came out and you look at, you know, what the hierarchy of the NFC West was, you know, projected to be, and then how things have actually transpired, like it has, like everything's coming up Cardinals, where before, like that usually hasn't happened outside of when Brittan and VA were, you know, part of this organization. Like it's been a long time, and you know, for them to be doing this early, you know, it's exciting. But now with that, you know, with those increased expectations, with all that power, like is the responsibility now that you're in a unique situation to give yourself a better chance to survive this marathon that is a 17-game NFL season. And that, of course, is seeing what's available out there on the trade market.
Let's hear from the franchise quarterback, Kyler Murray, who met with the media just moments ago.
No, honestly, I mean, with Chad, you know, his leg, obviously him or Matt, you know, when Matt was playing, but just you only got to get to – we only really wanted 5 yards. And, you know, Murray busted it and took the distance, so it was a pleasant surprise for sure. I'm not really too worried about being over 500 or 5-4. Like I'm just focused on, you know, the next day, the next game. Today was good. We got to win, and we got to go do it again.
Great comments, great mindset from K1. By the way, if you're watching with our friends on Samsung TV, the party continues. Go PHNX.com. Come in, let your voice be heard for the second half of our fine program. Again, if you're watching on Samsung, jump on over to GoPHNX.com. And Brittan, you got to love the comments there from the franchise quarterback. He has seen this team start 7-0, crumble at the seams. He has watched this team complete a Hail Mary of themselves at 6-3, beating Buffalo, not make the playoffs. So it's good to now have that context and life experience if you're Kyler Murray, knowing that, 5-4, we haven't won anything yet.
No, and you can kind of see a relaxed Kyler Murray in that press conference, right? Knowing that, like, he didn't have to hold the entire weight of this offense on his shoulders to win this game today, right? You really didn't need a lot from him. You needed a guy that could go out, command the offense, and get you in and out of plays that work. And you saw it at the line of scrimmage. They lined up multiple times. They had a play called. He saw something. He hit you with the alert, and you switched it, turned into a run play, and it's 7-8 yards of carry. And I think that's, if you can find ways to keep him comfortable to where he doesn't have to do everything at this point, right? You don't need 350 yards and 3 touchdown passes from Kyler Murray every week. Would you like to have it every other week? Oh, yeah. Why not? I mean, it's fireworks. You want to see it. But when you can go out there and your offense can command the line of scrimmage and you're carrying the football 6 yards of carry and you don't need Kyler to go out there and throw for 250, 300 and all that, I think that's a weight lifted off his shoulders, and you can kind of see it press conference, right? I mean, today compared to weeks previously, you can see it more relaxed Kyler. And like you said, he's not worried about the record right now. And we're halfway through the season. Right? This is a long. You play 17 games. It's an 18-week season now. You play 17 football games. It's a long season. Anything can happen over the next 8 weeks. All right, his mindset is there. He's ready, and we're looking forward to week 1. Yes, you celebrate your win today. Celebrate it tonight. Tomorrow you wake up, and it's on to New York.
What was your assessment of the franchise quarterback, Bo? 13 of 20. Modest numbers today, but again, got pulled in the fourth quarter for Clayton Tune.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time for when it's Tune time, and the Cardinals are just trying to take the era of the football and salt away the game. I thought it was efficient, right? I mean, he really wasn't called upon to use his legs outside of, evading pressure. You saw the sackless streak come to an end, but, you also saw him not throw a touchdown pass for the first time all season. Like, he had thrown a touchdown in each and every one of his 8 games this year and didn't get an opportunity in this one. But, I think he was efficient. He was able to move the chains, but I think he also understood they were just going to take what this Bears defense was going to give them, and what they were able to do offensively with James Conner, Trey Benson, Amari Dermercado on the ground. I think it would probably have been malpractice to get away from it just to maybe feed some of the players in the passing attack, even though, that's such a fun brand of football. And, who knows what would happen if Marv doesn't fumble that football on that drive. On a big pass play, 21 yards for his first catch of the game. Could they have maybe, continued that? But, yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe the only thing you look at the box score and say, hey, could you get your outside receivers, your downfield passing attack going a little bit more? But the Bears did do a really good job. Like, they lived up to at least that one thing where they did take away, the passing attack, and the Cardinals were able to exploit everything else.
Kudos to Drew Petzing and Nick Rallis. This was their combined best game of the season. Drew, back-to-back good games called, and Nick Rallis keeps, checking boxes. I think we all believe he's a future head coach in waiting. Hopefully not too soon if you're the Arizona Cardinals. Again, drop a like. The goal is 1,000 likes on a post-game show. We're halfway there, just over 500. Let's jump into your super chats. Damon, Dawg, let's cue these bad boys up, my guy.
Yeah, let's get a couple of these. We got 31. The chat's going crazy right now. Patrick T starts us off $5. I'm sure K1 loves that he finally doesn't have to do everything. That's why he's all in on JG, and I am too. LFG cards.
Boom. Love it. Let's keep it going.
We got ARZ6285. $2 with Melton showing out. He will replace Sean Murphy Bunting starting.
I agree. I don't think you pull him at this point. What he's done the last few weeks, being in that role as a starting corner. He's showed consistent play. He's been beat. It's going to happen. You're going to get beat at corner in this league. All right. We watched Jalen Ramsey get exposed a little bit by Marvin Harrison last week. Right. Yep. It's to the point where we're talking about one of the best, if not the best corner in the league in Jalen Ramsey. Right. It happens. Corner is probably one of the top 2 toughest positions to play in football. Right. So you're going to have your times where you get beat, but I think what he's done this year so far and just being consistent, finding ways to keep the ball in front of him, I think he's earned that starting spot.
Starling Thomas, Bo, has been a big surprise where we thought maybe he was an afterthought, and now he's clearly in the mix. This is a group the Cardinals can definitely build around, can they not?
Yeah, he's able to play, ride that line between being physical and also not get flagged up a ton. He had that big play on third down early in the game. I think it was on Keenan Allen, where he was in coverage in the end zone and is able to force the Cardinals off the field there. And I think it was maybe their first time that the Bears put up points. So, star, and then also what you guys said to piggyback about Max has been incredible. JG said that Sean Murphy Bunting just woke up and his neck was still sore, and it was just something where they didn't want to push it. And, this could be a situation where, does he have a job to come back to, or like Max is going to continue to get significant snaps, I think, going forward. He's earned that.
Let's keep him going. Damon, Dawg.
Ricky Crean, 249 euros, says Petzing's turned the corner. Time to renew number 3. Buda Baker.
I got some heat yesterday. Somebody asked me, like, Johnny, you think they'll extend Buda? And I'm like, I honestly don't know. He's an older player, and he doesn't play a premium position. They drafted Taylor Demerson, who had a tremendous special teams tackle. Buda got picked on in coverage a little bit. Like, what do you pay what is now a box safety? But then you couple that with, like, Jalen Thompson hasn't played as well as he did last year. So a lot of factors in play. How about this? Why don't we go to the postseason and then have a conversation in January once the season's done about who's getting paid and what amount they're getting paid? But you want Buda Baker on your team, absolutely. But this the secondary has a bunch of safeties that can play. That the defensive line needs help. Let's keep it going, Damon Dawg.
Dylan Peters, 999, says, we still need to go out and get another pass rusher to help, but great defense and good play calling from Petzing today. I won't be calling for his job.
He took a lot of arrows from this media market, from myself, from this fan base, and he responded. That's the best thing about football is Brittan, at the end of the day, like you can be under the microscope. You go out there and perform, whether you're a player or a coach, like that quiets down. Do your job at a high level.
The easiest way to silence somebody is to come out and make a play, right? Petzing was under heat. He can't make the play, but he can call the play. In the last couple of weeks, he's come out and given 2 solid game plans and coming out here and putting the team in position offensively to put points on the board and win games. So, yeah, we ain't calling for your job right now.
Bo, did you feel like I posted he was in his bag today and people were like, come on, running the football? I mean, like he's scheming up those run plays.
Yeah, still getting chunk yardage and explosives all over the football field. Those people can just go, I don't know, take a dump in their pants. I have no idea.
We know what you mean.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, if they were getting explosives all up and down the field, they were running efficient offense and putting up points consistently. Another 25-point-plus game from the offense. And, yeah, like, back to the defense, too. Like, Nick Rollis, another safety game for them. And another game here at home that they didn't surrender a touchdown. It was a good day for the Cardinals' top coordinators.
Iron $2 says, didn't one of you pick Connor as the X Factor? Wink emoji.
Was it Damon Dawg?
No, I always pick Trey McBride.
Was it me?
I think it was you, Johnny.
I picked.
How do you forget that?
I did. I picked Chad Ryland as my X Factor. I picked James Conner maybe as my player of the game. I picked James as my player of the game. Chad is my X Factor, and then defensively I picked Kazir White. So I was just solid. You know, I think I knew what kind of game this would be. Here's what I will say. My game predictions, I think I'm like 4 for my last 4. And, Bo, I know you don't want me to gloss over this. Hold or fold the line. I'm officially off the schneid with Carolina beating New Orleans today. So we will good vibes going for your boy in the betting scene. Let's keep it going, Damon, with these super chats.
Yeah, let's keep it going. That one took a big chunk out of Bo, you could tell. Nightingale Sunset, $5. Need to keep the burn. Jets prime trap game to an overconfident team. They are desperate.
They do have to win, right? I mean, especially with all the pieces that they went and tried to, kind of force together in their little makeshift puzzle out there in New York with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and all the guys out there. They are desperate. They got a good win this last Monday, but I mean, I think if, as a whole, if you can come out, the JG and Rollis and Petzing, you can come out this week and put together a consistent game plan like you put today. And even if it turns into another run fest where you just hand the ball up, put together a game plan that is beneficial to what you get and what they're going to offer you. I think you can come out of here and you escape and you go into the bye 6-4.
Johnny, I'll have you read this next one. I can't do it.
Okay, super chat $1.99 from Damon Cat. Meow, 5-4.
PR Mac $2. Literally hail the Cardinals.
Hail them. They are first place.
Josh Espada 02 $4.99. 3-0 since I've been a diehard. You're welcome, everybody. Also, 2 of the last 3 games, our defense hasn't allowed a touchdown. Give us some help, Monty.
Monty, please. Become a diehard. Plus, you can get how about this? Right now, we're giving away Pit Boss grills. If you want to get a Pit Boss grill for the price of on the house, put the link in the description in the show notes here. Love our partners at Pit Boss Grill, just hooking it up. And big thanks to everybody who went out to Chicken and Pickle today for the tailgate, those Pit Boss grills. I'd love one. I reached out and I'm like, can I have one? They're like, no, go pay for one. But let's keep it going here. KR Gordon.
Pit Boss Grill link is pinned to the chat. Just click on it, go through, sign up. It costs you nothing. Have a chance at winning a Pit Boss Grill. Pretty good chance, actually. KR Gordon 08 $1.99. Fact we didn't need Kyler Murray is a good thing.
Not many times you could say that in his first 6 years, for sure.
Thomas Christensen, $20. Decisive win. Yeah, MFer.
Wow. I do like that.
Josh, $10. Great game today. Nick Rollis is a monster. To be fair to Petzing, the Cards have the toughest schedule in the first 8 weeks. Add depth to the defense and build chemistry with offense. Keep it rolling.
I like it.
Bo, do you feel like this season, certainly we would have taken this when we predicted the season during the course of the summer, but given the fact that not only are they 5-4, but how it's looked, starting 2-4, we didn't envision this happening. Is this truly best case scenario right now?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Going, 5-4, potentially 5-5, 6-4 into their bye week. That was really what we kind of forecasted. Was can they keep and hover around 500, but then to be firmly at 500 or over 500, with an ability to stack wins against the fraud Seahawks right out of the gates, post bye, and then a team like the Panthers and the Patriots. Like, yeah, you put yourself in a good position to, while stacking wins against tough teams, stack wins against bad teams.
Let's keep it going with these super chats here. Josh, $10. Or no, we already hit that one. Mac Daddy, 714, $4.99. A lot of I can't believe I drove from Illinois, Northern Michigan for this piece of crap team in the stadium. LFG.
Let's go.
Love to hear it.
Where's our guy MP? Is he coming back?
No, he's been ghost mode today.
They've been asking for him since halftime.
R.I.P. MP. Good luck to you.
MP was all over our stream last year, though, when the Bears beat us on Christmas Eve.
Oh, my God. The most worthless no game of all time.
They were after the halftime show. All I saw was MP, where you at? And then they're still going
We're crossing off demons on this podcast this year. We're exercising the demons, Damon.
Ryan Carley, $2. Every time I've doubted the pass rush, they come through.
We'll keep doubting them.
I'd love to doubt them for the next 48 hours, and they come through with an acquisition.
Ruben Gamiz, $5. Kyler had a good game. Stats weren't gaudy, but they didn't need to the way the run game was clicking. Come on, over 210 rushing yards.
I do feel like when they wanted to throw, they could. Maybe not early. But, they were threading some balls late. Marv had a nice catch. I know he had one broken up.
There was opportunities.
Yeah.
He had opportunities. And even you don't know, like I think Bo was alluded to it earlier, you don't know what happens if the fumble that Marv has. If he doesn't fumble the ball there, we don't know what was going to be called in that, going forward. Right? If you complete that pass and you start exposing, zone coverage and man coverage, now, Petsy's got an idea of what pass game can I run through? If they're going to stay in this zone, I got stuff here. If they want to stay in man, I got stuff for this, right? So, I mean, and just the fact that, you had 210 on the ground. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Until they can prove they can stop that run game, there's no point in trying to air it out.
That's right.
Alberto E, 1999 says, 3 in a row, LFG at MP. I know you're watching. Your team forgot to pack a lunch today. We are who we thought they were.
That's right. That's right, Alberto. You tell them. What? 1999. Thank you for supporting the show.
Josh Espada 02, $4.99. This is mean. Also, Damon is a UVA fan. LMAO, go Devils, and Scatabo to the Cardinals. Make it happen. I don't care how many running backs we have. Go Cards, go Devils.
Bo, did you have glimpses of what Scatabo can do in this offense when the Cardinals were ramming the ball down the Bears' throats today? Scatabo, what, in the 5th? Who says no?
Don't start right now. This team is 5-4. We are not.
Hey, the way he running the football at ASU, he might not be available.
He is not allowed to go to any other team. Scatabo is a Cardinal, and we will find a place for him.
Johnny, he running the ball way too well right now out there in that game. He might not be available in the 3rd round.
Let it be known.
Get the scat man.
Go ahead, Bo.
I was just going to say something stupid. Just keep the scat man in the desert. That's all we need.
Chat's loving the scat shout out, and they're saying MP stands for missing person.
It's true.
ID the Mike 91, 199 super chat. We bring the boom. What do you think about that, Johnny?
Boom, Cardinals! I need a shirt for the merchandise locker of just us doing the boom dance. I mean, listen, some would say the Costco guys have saved our season. Bo, would you agree with that? Let's see Bo's best Rizzler face.
Oh, man.
If you guys
we
booms,
can't. I don't think we can say that they haven't saved the season.
That's
so
correct.
We can't. Yeah, that's right.
Can't confirm or deny.
if you guys like booms, check out our vlog from Miami. There's some Johnny booms in there after Chad Ryland puts it through the uprights for the W.
It's the cutest little vlog you've ever seen. Damon worked hard on it. It's a banger. It's a boom.
Andrew Dang, $5. God bless. Great win to solidify our playoff hopes. Much respect to the Bears, though. They'll probably bounce back still with a winning record.
No, the Bears legitimately could finish like 6-11, Andrew. Look at the Bears' schedule. They play the Patriots next week. They'll beat the Patriots, and they'll be like, "We're back. We've never been more back." They might lose out. They're getting swept by the Lions. They're getting swept by the Packers. They might split with
They're
the Vikings.
not going to win another division game.
I think they're done. The Bears have never been more. And if you're a Bears fan, you should root for them to lose out. Eberflus, we knew that life with Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Wilkes. Like when you have a fraud and you know you have a fraud, get another coach in there. The Chicago blew it in January. Should have fired. You had a chance. Fire Eberflus. You know, it's great when all the players like, we want him back. The players defensively in Arizona want Vance Joseph back too. We don't do things the players want. We do things that are best for the franchise. So the Bears are dead. The Cardinals killed the Bears today.
But Bo, do you think that like respect is like a trigger word for Johnny? Because Andrew put in that super chat there, respect to the Bears, and Johnny immediately was like, you know what? No respect to the Bears. I'm gonna eviscerate them right now.
Well, respect to Andrew, because I think that he knew exactly what he was doing by putting that in the super chat, just to let Johnny grave dance there. He was wrong about the Rams, but now I think he's definitely right about the Bears.
I don't feel good about that. Damon?
Alex Shellard, 199 pounds, huge W. How do we feel about Marv? Still felt nervy.
He's fine. Marv will be fine.
I mean, it was one of those, right? I mean, you wanted to see what you saw last week from Marv, but it wasn't one of those games. The pass game was not what you needed to win this game today. So, I mean, the fumble, it's just unfortunate, right? Could he take care of the ball better? Yes. But he caught the ball and he turned upfield and made a football move. He wasn't expecting, probably should have been, but wasn't expecting somebody to punch from behind. Right? Ball comes out. It's just an unfortunate play. I mean, he made 2 solid catches today. He had one that got broken up. It would have been a heck of a catch if he made it.
It's like against the guy's forearm.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a heck of a catch if he made it. So I'm not worried about him. He's not putting – I keep seeing all in the chats that, you know, Neighbors is having a better year. Keon Coleman's having a better year. I mean, I get it, but it's different situations, right? It's a different scheme, a different situation, a different organization, right? They're getting fed the ball. You don't – like today, you didn't need to feed Marvin Harrison the ball 12 times.
Michael Wilson didn't have a catch today.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, it's when it needs to happen, it'll happen.
Marv would rather play on a winner in a playoff team, whatever that looks like. He's your number one receiver as a rookie. They'll be fine. Marv is a good player that's eventually going to become a great player, and he's going to help you win plenty more games this year. And if you don't think he's going to eat in the secondary in the second half of the season against these opposing defenses they're facing, you're nuts. This is their best defense they faced all year. Like Brian Baldinger, Bo told us earlier this week, like this is unequivocally better than any defense they face. And yeah, no Montez Sweat, but still, like Cardinals, I mean, they ran roughshod over Chicago.
Well, and it's the thing. You're running the ball so well right now. Like, the second half of the season is going to open up the pass game because people are going to start putting 8 people in the box because they're going to want – if James Conner's still averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry after the bye week, right, teams are not going to let that beat you. If a smart defensive coordinator is going to come in and say, this is how they've won these last 4 or 5 games in a row, right? We've got to find a way to stop James Conner. Once you do that, now you're putting yourself in man coverages. Now you've got one-on-ones on the outside, one-on-ones on the inside. You got too many weapons offensively with Marvin and Michael and Trey and guys like that. There's too many one-on-one matchups outside that you can't just sit man all day long.
Go ahead, Bo.
They were missing Sweat quite a bit, but regardless, they demoralized them. They really did. They took their soul today by being able to run the football like they did today. So you'll take that. You'll take that over, gaudy pass statistics. Like they impose their will up front and won in the trenches.
All day.
Patrick T, $2 says Bears fans didn't travel. They live here.
Well, they do. It's getting wintertime, so it's too cold in Chicago.
They're in my neighborhood. I get to put up a big L when I drive home.
Elijah Williams, $4.99. Currently leaving the stadium with a smile. Bears fans, not so much. It's a great sight to be seen. Hopefully, we can see more Cards fans at home games.
Got to win games. You got to earn it. They know that Cardinal fans or Cardinal players and coaches know that. And guess what? They are earning it.
8-ball jacket, $5. Need to re-sign Chains Connor. Age aside, he has nails and is a first down machine.
Agreed. I don't think Buda Baker is a lock to be on this team next year. James Conner needs to be back.
Pedro Alcala, $4.99. Get on the phones, Monty. # Rise Up Red Sea.
We're going to tease the trade deadline here in a little bit after these super chats. Joey, I want everybody in the chat. Tell us who you want at the deadline. Drop a like on this video.
Joey, $1.99. Someone tell J.J. Watt to suit up next time.
I think JJ's enjoying retirement right now.
Bo, are you and J.J. Watt best friends now?
Yep. I think that's confirmed on the Twitter streets. Me, him, and Damon. So look out, Johnny.
That's fine. That'll be fine. I'm friends with the head coach.
And Mina.
The head coach firing shots at you.
Let's just playful banter between buddies. Let's just playful banter. Halloween banter between brethren.
All your best friends call you Johnny V.
That's right.
It's a
That's
thing.
100% right.
Richard Gunsith comes in and says 199 says, do they re-sign Buddha and Connor?
I think Connor. I don't think Buddha gets re-signed. People are going to lose their mind over that. I mean, Taylor Demerson is good. He's chomping at the bit. That open field tackle and special. He had 3 tackles defensively. He's going to start next year.
That's also a conversation we can have in February.
Chaz 199. Our offense performed like a blue chew.
Rose to the occasion.
That's right.
We got Candle 34, 499. Hard to be down after 3 wins, but how can the passing game get better? Keep up the good work.
Oh, I think we've alluded to it many times already. You didn't need it today. So, I mean, the passing game will show up when it needs to show up, but until teams can stop you from gaining 6 yards per carry, I'm handing the ball off all day long.
Ricky Crean, 599. Johnny is always raving about using the casino and credit union. He never mentions about how Blue Chew is working out for him.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I haven't had a chance to try it yet. Here's what I will say. I don't have a need for it yet.
So it's not that old.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I will have it when I need it. How about that? If I need it.
Give us a personalized review.
If I need it, friends.
Scott, 199. Williams is as bad as MP's trash talk.
Ooh.
That's rough. That's rough, tough.
Vondo, 499. So sad I couldn't go and experience this in person as planned, but enjoyed the win nonetheless. Hashtag go Cards.
Love it.
Classy Nasty, 199. Show yourself, MP.
Show it.
Out for blood.
Z Warlock, 505. $5. Hashtag beat the Jets. Need that.
I think the Cardinals are going to blow out the Jets like they blew out the Bears.
We've talked a lot of smack about the Jets on this program. We've made it into a rivalry that just has never existed. Me, you, and Bo.
Yes, correct. The Jets are frauds. They beat a Houston team that had no players. They had no players.
Scott, 499. Hit that like for our boys. Hashtag 1000. Sitting here at 562. Let's keep pushing.
We're halfway there.
Miles Johnson, $5. I have a massive test for my MP on Tuesday. This win gets me pumped to pass. Hashtag Bird Gang. Hashtag run down throats.
I love running down throats.
That's what we did all night long. B Money, 499. My first son was born on the 17th, and we are 3-0 since then. Might just keep him around.
Keep that little guy around. Suit him up next week.
The Valley Bros, 199. It feels good to be happy 3 weeks in a row.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it, Bo? I sat here with Damon and Brittan. I'm like, holy hell, are the Cardinals good again? What's this feeling like? Is this just like the norm now, Bo?
We're not going to jump the gun, but it's a good feeling. I'll tell you that.
They smacked around a bad team today. They really did. They did. They took advantage of a bad team, and they beat some good teams before that. So the three wins before that against the Niners, against the Dolphins, against the Chargers, those are good football teams. This one,
Yanks, 199. Come playoffs, pass game has to heat up for sure.
I think it will. I think it showed you last week. Like,
I think it'll start heating up the second half of the season.
They'll get it going.
Angel Lopez, $5. We just pulled an RFK Jr. bear story, except we dropped the dead bear in the middle of the desert.
I'm not going to touch that one, but that's good.
Valley Boy 14, $4.99. So great to have Brittan. He's so knowledgeable.
He's
our sweet boy.
He's a very nice man. We missed him last week in Miami.
No, you didn't. It would have been a bad weekend.
It's good to have him back this week and for the rest of the year as a part of this crew. Good to have you all here, a part of this crew. Drop a like on this video. Again, goal is 1,000 likes. We're getting closer. We can't get there without all of you. Final thoughts on a PHNX Cardinals post-game show ahead of the trade deadline on Tuesday. What will Monti Ossenfort do? Bo Brack, I'm going to start with you. Prediction time here. We're going to do a couple of shows ahead of the trade deadline. Your gut right now, what moves does Monti make to reaffirm the Cardinals as a firm playoff contender?
I want to set my sights very high here at the deadline, try to find the best option as far as pass rushers, and I think that's Azeez Ojulari, the brother of BJ Ojulari. I think that would be the best option. He's a free agent this offseason, but it's 6 sacks this season. I don't even know what he put up today. Did he add to that sack total today against Washington? it doesn't matter. I mean, he's been productive all season long, and I think he would fit right into Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rollis' defense. I think, an early day 3 pick would get the job done. And, you're able to supplement a little bit, a massive need that you have. And you see like what it looks like with not a ton of talent, that you can still be productive based on scheme and effort. But now you get somebody who's done it so far this season. I think that would be able to get them in a position, especially on third downs later in the season, maybe somebody that can get them off the field. So I'd love to see it, but I'll accept, the Arden Keys of the world, is Darius Smith, who looks like he's destined to be a Lion. Whoever it may be, get him to the desert, get him a one-way ticket to Arizona.
I agree. I think Azeez would come in and be a solid fit. I mean, you obviously want to shoot for the stars. I keep seeing Max Crosby's and Myles Garrett. Those teams aren't getting rid. They're not going to lose. They're not going to get rid of those guys. I just don't. You're going to have to come out of pocket with a lot of money and a lot of first-round picks to get a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby out here. But I mean, I think Ojulari is a good fit. Also, Arden Key can come in. He's had success out there. It's Darius, like you said, he's probably going to end up a Lion. But you've got options. You got plenty of options. I think the biggest thing is just go try to make a wave. Try to go out there and splash. If you can sneak away with somebody you weren't supposed to get, I think that's huge. But anyway, any type of help you can get to come in and help this defensive line, start to generate more pressures as we get through this season, I think is a win.
I think there's a benefit to making 2 moves. I agree with Bo and Brittan that Azeez Ojulari is clearly the best option. And if you're able to do that, we're going to applaud Ossenfort because it checks the box now and into the future. He's a free agent, but he's 24. If you love him, re-sign him, franchise him, you check a box. But if he's not obtainable, if you don't want to spend the money or you don't want to spend the draft capital, Arden Key had another sack today. He's got 4 on the year. Now, granted, it was against a bad New England team. I look at the state of this defensive line. Darius Robinson, where is he? When's he going to play? Is it after the bye? Probably. These defensive tackles are giving their hearts out. Stilley and L.J. Collier. I'm almost leaning Calais Campbell and Arden Key over Azeez Ojulari. Like, that's close for me because of the leadership that Calais brings, the impact on the field. I think sometimes more is more. The Cardinals have lost so much defensive front 7 help. Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, Dennis Gardeck, B.J. Ojulari. I don't think Azeez Ojulari makes the biggest difference over multiple ads, if that makes sense. Like, I do feel like the Cardinals should be open to multiple moves. I don't know if Ossenfort will. I certainly don't think he's going to want to move multiple picks from 2025. But if you can mix in, I mean, what's Miami going to ask for Calais Campbell? They lost again today. That team's going nowhere. He's on maybe his last 9 games of his NFL career. Bring big number 93 back to Arizona for a 7th rounder in 2 years, right? And then get an Arden Key or Azeez Ojulari. And then you add Darius Robinson when he's healthy. And Calais' addition would encourage you not to bring him back when he's not healthy. And suddenly now this defense gets refortified. You're already playing above your skis. Now it's like, is this one of the the best units up and coming in the second half of the NFL? So I do think Calais Campbell, if he's truly available, and it was leaked out today, the teams are calling Miami, go get Calais. I know it's not an X's and O's fit necessarily, that he's not a pure edge rusher, Bo, but like their defensive tackles are gassed. And I think, frankly, it's only a matter of time before they lose another one.
I love it. I absolutely love that idea. That's why Johnny V is cooking here in the Valley. That was a beautiful trade idea, and bringing him home to finish his career here, it would just tie an absolute bow around an unbelievable career for Calais Campbell, where he was drafted in the 2nd round to the Cardinals. Come in here, he'd be an absolute culture fit as far as what they got going on here with Jonathan Gannon and crew, and kind of tie together some of the different eras of Cardinals football. And also help fill a void that they have left. I don't care where he needs to play each and every down. It's a rotation. And like when we watched him in person last week, he was the best player on the defensive line on the field. So you take him, you don't turn your nose up at him. It's very reminiscent of Jonathan Gannon's defensive line in Philadelphia during the Super Bowl run. He just kept adding guys. It didn't matter where they fit in. They just kept adding guys because they knew that if you're talented, if you're bought in, you're going to play hard with the motor, with the violence, you got a spot on this roster, on this defense.
And here's the kicker. You know those teams, Brittan Golden, in San Francisco and LA with those GMs are going to make moves. I will be shocked if we're sitting here Tuesday, especially John Lynch, given the state of his defensive tackle room, losing Javon Kinlaw, that they don't go out and they're aggressive. They're not aggressive. So you can, if you're Monti Ossenfort, sit on your hands, be content with this rebuild where they're at above schedule or ahead of schedule, knowing that these other teams, Seattle's made 2 trades already. They keep sucking, losing games, but they're trying to get better. The Rams and the Niners are coming. You got to be ready to combat whatever they do with moves of your own.
There's going to be moves made in the NFC West, especially with, given the records right now and how close the race is right now for this division. Moves are going to be made. There's going to be teams are going to try to bolster those defensive lines. They're going to try to find playmakers that they can get and bring in that can help the team right away. So I don't believe we'll be sitting here, scratching our heads with nothing happen. I think Monty's, like you said, dude, we've heard from multiple sources, they're cooking, they're working right now. There's stuff in the works, hopefully everything works out in our favor and, we can get who we need that can come in and make an immediate impact.
Like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Damon, Dawg, any last-minute super chats before we put a bow on this post game?
No, we're all good. Just make sure you smash that like button. We're at almost 600 likes now, 400 likes away from our goal. And yeah, thanks. Shout out the chat for killing it today.
Big thanks to everybody. Big thanks to Brack hanging out on the game field. Beautiful State Farm Stadium. It's especially beautiful. All the Bears fans are out of town, hopefully, and en route to their respected Airbnbs.
Golf courses.
Yeah, golf courses. And
they're already back in Sun City, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no. Listen, every golf course is booked. It's ridiculous.
We're fired up here on a PHNX Cardinals post-game show. Grab your mobile phone, smartphone, device. Go to PHNX Cardinals, wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us a follow. So inclined. Leave us a 5-star review for your boys at PHNX Cardinals. We're back on a Victory Monday, 3 in a row. How about that? Here on PHNX Cardinals for Bo, Brittan, Damon. I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.